podcast with Dan and D.
I am Dan.
And I am D.
You are D.
I am D.
Hey man, we'd like to welcome you back, guys. We're on segment number 2 here on this Wednesday, November 4th. The year is 2020. We got some NFL AFC North action for you guys. We got 2 other games we're also going to talk to you about, man. Let's get it started with what we've been all waiting to talk about all week, and that's them Bengals. What'd you do? Just let out a silent one? Nah, I'm just kidding.
What is it, a silent one like the Titans let out against your team?
Your
team.
Yeah.
Yeah, your team.
I'm pretty sure I picked the Bengals to win this game. I knew it was just a matter of time before they were going to pull this shit together, man.
Hey, man, Burrow is not that bad. I got to give it up to him, man. He killed it out there. I thought he was going to be a bust, but he did not bust. He was pretty much a badass.
Hey, for those of y'all that don't know, Bengals were able to come on top. The 2-5-1 now Bengals were able to beat the 5-1 at the time Titans, 31-20.
Yeah.
It was close at times, other times, it's kind of cool. Bengals, I mean, Titans had more total offense, D, but you know what? The Bengals still were able to manage. They actually looked good playing, and the Joe Burrow, man, you give that dude more than about 3 seconds, he is going to destroy you. Yeah,
I'd have to say so. He's on pace to be the Rookie of the Year, in my opinion.
Hey, my opinion too, man. He's got 2,272 total yards this season. He's 221 for 330. He's got 11 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
Well, it's not that bad for a rookie.
No, it's not at all.
For a rookie.
Better
even
a lot of guys up to this point.
Even for some veterans. Yeah, they had... We'll give it up to Brandon on this.
Brandon Higginbotham, we got you, buddy. Love you, man. Who dat? Go Bengals.
4 new offensive linemen. 0 sacks.
0.
He really didn't see a whole lot of pressure. I'd have to say that.
Actually, Burrow was sacked 1 time.
He was sacked
he was sacked 1 time. We don't have to count it, though. I don't know who saw it. We don't have to count it. Do you want to count it? We don't have to count it.
When did he get sacked?
I'm not sure.
Because it says on here... 0.
My stats said he got sacked once. Huh.
Really?
26 for 37, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns and a sack.
The defense held up. The defense held out. I mean, they held it's not a great, but I mean, it's a really good offense. To, 20 points? I mean, you got to give it up to him.
Hey, and honestly, Henry did his thing, man. He had 18 carries for 112 yards and a touchdown. I mean,
your offense fumbled 1 time, but it was recovered by Burrow. So, you got to give that to him.
Absolutely, man. Jumping on top of that ball like it's a...
Like it's a what?
Just waiting for the music to build up. Like it's a fish in the pond.
Oh. I don't even know what that means. I mean, your young team, man, they came out on top. I got to give it to them. They beat a pretty veteran-led Titans.
Hey,
check.
Yeah.
I mean, Henry had 112 yards, 18 carries, and 1 touchdown? I mean...
And honestly, Bengals...
You're not going to stop him. I'm going to say that. You're not going to stop him. He's like a fucking moose.
It's like playing against LeBron. Like, you're never going to stop LeBron. You can only do what you can to slow him down.
I'm not going to touch that.
Hey, Bengals end up pulling one out, man. I'm pretty sure... I think we play the Steelers next week. So we're going to see how that goes.
Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure we'll be tuning in, man.
We'll see if those 4 new offensive linemen will be able to hold up that. I mean, they got a hell of a pass rush.
Hey, go Bengals, and let's continue on with this AFC North matchups. We had a lot of good games this weekend, man.
It was the Browns versus the Raiders. The Raiders.
Hey, Browns kind of flunked this one out. Ended up losing 16-6 against the Raiders. Pretty crappy day up in Cleveland.
Yeah,
Sleet, raining sideways. It was
sloppy.
It was all kinds of sloppy, man. Mayfield trash. 12 for 25, 122 yards.
Sorry, Baker.
Only sacked twice, which means man, did he just maybe not get enough? They didn't need to get pressure on him. They only got 2 sacks, which means he just kind of underperformed.
Yeah. I mean,
didn't have all the drops either.
By half it was 6-3?
Yeah, very entertaining first half. 6-3. You could have went to the bathroom at least 11 times and probably not missed a thing.
You could probably miss something.
Hey, Derek Carr didn't really do that well either. He only had, he had the touchdown. He had the touchdown, but he only had 112 yards.
I mean, what was it? Finally, by the time that they scored in the second half, it was a 4-yard pass to Carlson for a touchdown?
Yeah, man.
Was that about all the real big scoring that they had that at least entertained you?
Man, honestly, I think the only entertaining part of that game was when it was over. Yeah, I'm sorry Browns didn't lose. Browns didn't win. That's kind of my second team, you know what I mean? But that game was
horrible. How do you like the Browns?
That game was horrible because I'm an Ohio boy, man. I like my teams in Ohio.
Doesn't mean you gotta be.
I'm not a phony. I'm not a phony.
Are you calling me a phony?
Because you are a phony.
That's hard.
You're not a phony. No, you're
That's
not.
Hard.
You're not a phony. You love your team. I'll give you that, buddy.
I mean, even with Carr having a pretty shitty game, Baker really didn't do nothing to lead that offense at all.
Honestly, who was the superstar of that game?
Probably Jacobs.
Absolutely, Jacobs. 31 carries, 128 yards.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Kind of said that. I mean, do you really think that Baker's really going to be worth getting a new contract to?
Well, I don't know, man. We got to see how this year plays out. His team at this point is 5-3, so I'm not going to doubt. I mean, they're doing a lot better than other people. Why? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. At least not yet. Not yet. Give the dude some time. I think he'll be fine.
I mean, you got what, the 2018 rush leader on that team. You got Nick Chubb, who last year was second in rushing yards. You got,
and Chubb being gone has dramatically hurt the Cleveland Browns.
No, not really. I mean,
Kareem Hunt is not putting anywhere close to the numbers that Chubb was putting up. He has yet to have a 100-yard game, but he catches the ball a little bit out of the backfield more than Chubb does.
They're able to actually do stuff with him too. I mean, he can.
But you just need Chubb to ground and pound the ball. You need him to do that.
I mean, you need Kareem Hunt to be that.
You need Kareem Hunt to be more of a LaShawn McCoy.
Then you need to put that on the people who are picking up their running backs. I mean, who's their third string running back?
Johnson, Dion, or something like that.
I don't even know who he is.
Right.
I mean, you got Landry, you got Odell. Yeah, he's out right now, but you still got Austin Hooper. You got David Njoku. What else do you need? You got more than what a lot of other teams have on that side of the ball, and you got a hell of a defense. You got one of the best defensive linemen outside of Aaron Donald and Myles Garrett, and you're still not able to stop the other teams from scoring. You're still not able to put up points on the board half weeks.
They don't have any. You guys don't have. Not you guys. They don't have any. The Cleveland Browns don't have any defensive backs. Their defensive backs are terrible.
They're young.
They are young and bad.
Bad?
Yeah, they're not that great.
Denzel Ward is bad?
Denzel Ward's all. That's it. He's a Buckeye. Go Bucks. Attack and dominate, go Bucks.
I mean, that might be true because I really don't watch a whole lot of Browns football, but it bothers me that they can't win games. Half weeks they're guaranteed to either put up 3 or 50 points on a team.
Hey,
just depending on how good of the other team
I agree with that, but this year it's favored more on the end of.
How many points did they put up?
They've won more games than they've lost, so I'm sure, come talk to every Browns fan, they've won more games this year than they've lost. They're 5-3 and could get a playoff spot. Please tell me you guys aren't happy. They're never going to be happy until you guys win a Super Bowl. But
no, I'm not going to be happy until they compete.
You guys are 5-3. Keep it up.
They couldn't even compete with the Pittsburgh Steelers, who didn't even have a quarterback last year.
And you know what? The Pittsburgh Steelers are undefeated. Steelers are undefeated, man.
This year,
Browns beat the teams they're supposed to beat. They beat the teams they're supposed to beat.
Be more competitive with the other teams in your division. You shouldn't be winning very, very, very close games with your team, the Bengals. They shouldn't be. They should have been able to handle the Colts like
they're average. They're middle of the road, like about half the teams in the NFL. Anyways, talking about the Browns makes my stomach feel brown and down. Let's flush it down and move on, brother.
Fair enough.
You want to move on to the, we got the, your game, boy?
Yeah.
Your game? Your Ravens?
Yeah. Well, first half, Lamar looked terrible. He looked terrible.
Yeah, man.
And his running game was the only thing outside of, the running game in general was the only thing that was really worth a damn during the whole game. I mean, the weather, yes, it played an issue in the game, but yet again, it did with the Bengals game, and it did with the Steelers or with the Browns game. Still shouldn't have been a reason that we should have lost, but.
If you guys didn't know, for our viewers watching, the undefeated 7-0 Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Pittsburgh Bengals?
Beat the Baltimore Ravens 28-24 in a last possession of the game.
It's just frustrating to talk about them right now.
Hey, man, Ravens are still in a good spot at 5-2. I mean, second place in the AFC North. They're going to the playoffs. That's a given or not.
Probably.
Lamar Jackson had 4 turnovers. That doesn't help anything.
No, not at all.
He had 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. He was sacked 4 times. He also ran for 65 yards. Dobbins, man, we've been talking about him for a while, about him not getting enough carries. And look, they feed him the rock, and he runs for 113 yards. But the
thing that really bothers me about that is we had that game handed, or it was in the pocket. It was 17-7 by the first half. That's one thing that bothers me. And then it's just like they go stupid and they run stupid plays. They do stupid things. Lamar gets down into the red zone, and ever since Ronnie Stanley went out in the game, the left side, the blind side, is just completely just terrible. That whole side is terrible with. Marshall Yanda being out now because he retired, and then Ronnie Stanley falling.
Well, then they had to move Phillips. They had to move Phillips over to the other side and bring in that who is it? DJ Fluker or DJ?
I don't even know. He's a nobody to me. He's not worth.
They brought him in a left tackle, so I mean, Bengals are hurting up front offensively, and
the Bengals.
I keep saying the damn Bengals.
You mean the Ravens?
The Ravens are they're hurting on the line offensively, and it's obviously showing because the past couple weeks Lamar's numbers have been nowhere near what they used to be. Mind you, they're still 5-2, so they're sitting pretty.
And him throwing an ugly interception to the flat, him throwing an ugly interception the very first pass of the game, him fumbling it twice in the red zone. You're not going to win too many games with that. And honestly, the Steelers should have put that game away long before that.
And that's what shows you Lamar's there, man. They're up there with the elite teams in this league. They just need Steelers. Steelers are on something else. Who before the start of the season projected the Steelers to be in the spot they're in right now? Nobody. Not even you. You
think so?
Correct.
They should have
Except for Steelers fans.
They should have put that game away long before that. That's my only real thing there. They have a very talented offense with their receiving corps. Their running back is in my opinion. I don't really believe in Connor that well.
James Conner, man, 15 rushes, 47 yards. That's not real great. He did have a touchdown, which is good. Schuster was your main receiver, 7 catches, 67 yards. Ebron and Claypool both had touchdowns. Ebron was 4 for 48 yards. Claypool 5 catches, 42 yards. Ben, he tried to do his thing. 21-32, 182 yards, 2 touchdowns. Knocked down on his ass twice.
I'm going to put the loss on that game squarely on Lamar's shoulders because he turned it over 4 times.
And he even, if you watched his interview, he even took the blame for it. He says, I need to play better and I need to manage this team better, and I agree with him.
That's the only thing that I can really talk about that's good about Lamar so far this year. He's been a big disappointment in my eyes So has that offense.
So what do you think's going to happen when he carries? They're going to be. Ravens will be in the playoffs. That's pretty much a given. What are you going to do?
Win the AFC North.
What are they going to do? Steelers are going to win that.
Sadly, I hate to admit.
But
that.
what are you going to do when you guys are in the playoffs? You think Lamar's going to show up?
We'll see.
You can't play like this. You can't throw 4 turnovers in a playoff game and expect
enough
love to our AFC North. Let's give some love to 2 other games, guys, that really caught our eye. What do you want to start with, man?
We could talk about the Chargers and Broncos game if you want. It has your underdog in it.
It does, man. It does. It has my underdog, Justin Herbert, man. He's been outstanding.
I'd have to say he's been doing pretty good. I mean, this game wasn't all that, but he still showed up. He still did enough to keep them in the game.
For those not watching, the 2-5 now Chargers lost the game 31-30 against the Denver Broncos. My underdog Herbert tore it up 29 for 43, 278 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did have 2 picks and did get sacked twice. Drew Lock 26 for 49, 248 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He as well was sacked for 2 times.
2 sacks? Okay. Well, I mean, the first half really wasn't much to speak about except for like the last 3 or 4 possessions of the game. Herbert took them down the field, as you already said. He threw some passes to Allen, Poe, and Kelly, and then right near the second or the 2-minute warning of the first half, he completed a 22-yard pass to Allen, and then another one for a touchdown.
Yeah, man, the Chargers definitely did what they had to do. Herbert lit it up right before the half and put him at 14-3 at halftime against the sad Broncos team. They were able to get a field goal in the first quarter. That was about it. So here we go into the third quarter. We got 14-3 Chargers. Everyone thinks everything's going to be great. Let them know what happened, man.
There was 5 plays, and then it was capped off with a Phillip Lindsay 55-yard touchdown.
Right, just when you think Phillip Lindsay, like, oh, where's he been? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I mean, Melvin Gordon, there's something going on with that. I don't really know, but I know that Phillip Lindsay's starting to get some playing time with it, and he's taking advantage of what he's got. And then Locke started locking down the game.
Absolutely, man. The Locke and the Broncos were able to get the ball back with 2 minutes, 24 seconds remaining after a 19-yard line. Able to take the ball 14 plays for 81 yards. Yep. It was also helped by 2 sad defensive penalties, but by the Chargers, which ended up costing him in the end.
Yeah. Well, the last 3 possessions of the game, it was 3 touchdown passes to 3 different receivers.
3 different receivers, man.
Yes, sir.
Boy got hands. Boy's got hands.
What's that guy's name?
It's Akun got
yes,
look him
that
up.
name.
He's the tight end for the Broncos. Had a touchdown last game. Look his name up.
Then there was one to Hamilton, and then another one to Hamler. That's what his name is.
Hammer. Yeah, he's a rookie. KJ Hammer, rookie for the Broncos.
Ooh, he's a rookie.
Absolutely.
Is that what you said? Okay. Speaking of rookies, do you want to move on to Tua?
Yeah, man. Debut for Mr. Tua. One of my buddies is a big Dolphins fan. He's pretty pumped about Tua. I was pumped about Fitz playing, but you know what? Magic wore out once again.
It was sad.
It sucks, but you know what, man? Tua.
I know he's the future. I'm just kind of worried about his injuries.
Hey, I am too.
I know they're saying that it's not as bad, but I mean, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying, man, Tua, his debut for Tua from Alabama. He came in and did his thing. The Miami Dolphins were able to upset the Rams 28-17. Pretty entertaining first half. Second half, not so much, but...
I did say that Tua was going to be a bust because I thought that, what's his name, Aaron Donald was going to be all over him. Just like the debut of... What's his name for the football team?
Chase Young.
No.
Haskins.
No, the quarterback that took over. Anyways.
Alex Smith?
Alex Smith, yes. I thought he was going to be all over him, just like that. Alex Smith, yes.
Don't. You already did. Don't do it again.
No, that'd be pretty bad for him. But I mean, he didn't have a bad game. He had an okay game. A lot of it was due to defensive play by the Dolphins, some pretty shitty Rams play.
Hey, he did, however, throw his first touchdown pass.
And some pretty good special teams play. But yes, he did. He scored a touchdown. He threw that to Devontae Parker.
Absolutely. We got a 7-7. End of the first quarter, 7-7. Everybody's looking locked down, like, let's go. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah. And then the Dolphins fumbled. The Dolphins caused a fumble for a touchdown.
Von Ginkel.
Rams went 3-and-out, and then the Dolphins came back in, and what did they do? They punted it to him for a touchdown. Then the Rams threw an interception. What do you know? The Rams also fumbled it, and that all happened right before halftime.
Rams did, however, get a field goal in before halftime. 24-10 is your halftime score. 28-10 is your halftime score.
Yeah, 28-10. And
Come out in the second half, nothing, man. Just defense, kind of boring. Ball kicking back and forth.
The only real big thing to mention is that the Rams went 34 yards, turned it over, and then Goff threw a touchdown to Woods. That's really about all that there really was to mention in the second half.
11-yard touchdown pass. That just means Miami defense was able to hold them down the whole game. We give them props to that. Take a little pressure off Tua. Keep the Rams.
Do you think that Goff is worth the money that he has paid to them?
I think so far this year he is, absolutely.
You think that Goff is worth the money?
That he's being paid right now, yes.
How much is he getting paid?
I have no idea. How much is he getting paid? You tell me.
Too much. That's what I was going to go with. Too much.
Hey,
he's getting paid too much for that.
Miami plays the Cardinals next, man. It's going to be Tua versus
Kyler Murray.
Yep, Tua versus Kyler Murray, man. It's going to be Rams are on a bye, so Goff gets a minute to think about things. Yeah,
bad decisions.
Maybe hopefully not make them again.
Yeah. Speaking of bad decisions, we'll be right back with some badass or bust. How's that sound?
Hey, man, that sounds pretty good, guys. We'll see you in 5.